Well, alright, Girlyvoice, hi. This is like my third try at this video, and the reason why it's my third try is not because, I guess actually one of the tries I thought that I revealed way too much of, like some of my inner workings, maybe some inner workings I'm ashamed of, and I thought, you know, I'm glad I said those things because I need to hear them and I'm thinking about them. But you know, maybe I don't need to share them with the world. But so I'm going to try again, and this time if it's long, I'm just going to let it go. But you were talking about how we speak to ourselves, how I talk to myself in my mind about what I'm doing or thinking or my plans, and I want to be to myself really kind, really patient, and really considerate. I want to be the advisor behind the curtains of the king in my mind. And you know, at no point in time do you whisper through the curtains, "Oh, I can't believe you forgot your books again before you went to class. Like, why? What do I have to do to get you to remember your books? I mean, you're going to school." You know, you don't do that through the curtain to the king. If you did, you wouldn't be advising the king for very long. So yeah, I want to be more polite to me. I want to be more treating me like I'm a precious object, like I'm a precious child that I'm trying to rear, and I want them to always be able to say and do and think whatever it is, and then I will advise them on the best way to bring that about, or if I feel there might be a better way. So yeah, no, I don't want to criticize myself. I don't want to say like, "Oh, stop thinking about that." I want to say something like, "Oh, I don't know if that thought's going to be helpful for you. I think maybe you should just kind of put that on a shelf, and we'll come back to that later. But for now, I think that thought's just upsetting you, or it's not getting you anywhere. So let's move on." You know, like a facilitator at a meeting. But then I was thinking, I mean, I'm on that. I really do want to be patient, kind, and understanding with myself. Because being frustrated with yourself, being critical of yourself, it is not going to help. I mean, if you want an example of that, just go to somebody that you know and just be frustrated and critical and angry and shouty, and see how well that works out. And ask them for a favor, just in case if there's any doubt in your mind. It's so hard, and I'm working on it. But then here's where I started thinking about this, where I'm working on it. So I really started listening. I started judging what I said to me in my mind. Like, is that helpful? Is that kind? Is that patient? And then what that led me to immediately, quickly realize is that, you know, you've heard me complain about my work. Everybody has. And here's why I think I keep complaining about it. Because when I'm dealing with somebody, like someone who was shouting cuss words at me a couple days ago, in my mind, like, you know, I'm patient and professional, and I did what needed to be done, and that person left, and you know, then I moved on. I didn't let it be a big deal. But in my mind, I was angry at them, and kind of, I guess, I almost had like an insulting perception of who they are. Like, you know, they went from being like, you know, a person who's kind of frustrated with what things are going on for them, and I was aware of that, and then, but then they started getting mad at me. I mean, they're just angry, so they start lashing out around them like a child. But rather than, you know, patiently like I would with a child, I'm like, "Hey, buddy, you got to calm down and see that you know, just let that person play with the toy, play with that toy, and eventually, you know, that will be available. It's been available in the past, it'll be available in the future. And you just gotta remember that, and, you know, try to get along as best you can with yourself and with the, you know, the children around you. Instead of trying to think of things that way, like I was judgmental about this guy. I thought, you know, this guy's a jerk, and he probably, the reason why this got him so frustrated, this really simple thing, is because everything gets him frustrated. And he probably, the way he shouted at me, he probably shouts at everybody. So he probably doesn't get a lot of love and kindness in his life. Probably not a whole lot of people want to be around him. And I was almost like thinking, like, yeah, serves you right. Serves you right if you treat people like that, that you're alone and angry. You know, I would think, you know, I'd be worried about, you know, you going home and shouting at your, you know, your wife, girlfriend, and children, except for who would want to marry you and who would want to have kids with you. You know, really negative stuff. I mean, the guy was, it's almost like that. The thing is like, that's like, if someone's cussing you out and it's absolutely baseless, like that's almost like an inner defense. Like I'm cussing them out inside my mind. But I mean, it's happening inside my mind. That's a thing. Like, is that what the kind of stuff I want to go on in there? Like, I don't want to direct that stuff at me. So why would I allow it to be directed at others? It's not even. I'm not even voicing it. It's not even going to change how I do things in the future. I'm always going to just respond as much as I can, professionally and patiently, and try my darndest not to let it get to me. So why do I allow it? You know, I wouldn't talk to myself that way. So why would I allow that to be directed at anybody else? So, yeah, I think how we talk to ourselves influence how we feel about ourselves. It also would influence how we allow other people to treat us. If someone treats me poorly in a manner that matches how I treat myself inside my mind, if, you know, my frustration with my forgetting books on my way to a class, and then someone else expressed frustration that I forgot my books on the way to class, I'll just say, like, yeah, I accept your blasting me with that condensation and recriminations. Instead of saying, like, to myself, my inner mind, I'm like, well, you have forgot your books twice this month, but that's really the first time. That's the first 2 times, you know, that this has happened all year. So it's a full year of always remembering, and a couple times forgetting. I think that's actually really good, and I think it's quite human to forget things, quite human to make mistakes. And the more I understand that about myself, the more understanding I'll have about other people make mistakes. And yeah, sure, you don't want to forget your books, but it's not the end of the world. And so then when someone tries to make it, maybe because they're critical about, you know, their own forgetting things, when someone then becomes critical at you because they're used to that inside their mind, and like I said, it might be the way you treat yourself inside your mind, you know, criticism is exchanged and accepted. When almost, you know, why make that mental effort to feel bad? Yeah, I think it makes me feel deceptive and like a liar. I think that's why I didn't post that other video, why I deleted it. Is I think that truth is a way of life, and it's not just the truth of your words and your truth of your actions and how they match, but how much better would it be if truth was a way of life in your mind as well? If I would never tell that guy, you know, that terrible thing about no one likes you, and I'm sure you're going home to an empty house, because who would want to wait for you, you terrible jerk. You know, I wouldn't say that. I'm ashamed that I thought it, and I think that it does me a disservice. And you know, it should be, I guess it should be beneath me. I think I should be aware of it, and then I should try to rise above it. Maybe never to rise above it, but maybe the effort will improve my quality of life. It'll make things a little bit more beautiful in my mind, and that might make my life a little bit more beautiful. And it might give, you know, that kind of thing, that kind of interaction will always be upsetting, but it might be just a little less upsetting. So yeah, I think it's worth considering how we speak to ourselves, and then how we speak to others in our minds as well, considering that. All right, Girly Voice. A long, revealing ramble, all for you and the rest of the Tube tribe. All right, see you in the tubes.